What's up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and we are here today with the review for The Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 14, Episode 17, the season finale, you guys. This episode is titled, what's it titled? Fashion Show with Fashions or something like that? Let me get it for you guys. Let me get it. 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 Yeah, a fashion show with fashions, you guys. It's the title of the episode. So, before we go ahead and jump to this review, if you guys are watching this video or any other on the channel and aren't yet subscribed to the channel, then do me a solid favor and stop taking me out on this date and having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys know you can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, turning on your post notifications, and also by sharing the video, you guys. And with that out the way, without further ado, let's discuss the Real Housewives of Atlanta, shall we? So this episode, it really dealt with like two people more a lot. Kenya. So we're gonna start up with Kenya. So you guys remember earlier in the season that Kenya was talking about how she was having issues with her business, right? And her fulfillment. Well, Kenya has come, let us know that she has gotten a deal with CVS. CVS has given her 5,000 stores. So Kenya had to go and spend a little bit of extra money for her packaging that she got from overseas. Girl, Kenya, go help the good sis Sheree out because she needs a lot. Go, some people need to go help Sheree, Kenya, Candy, Bethany, LVP. The list goes on. These housewives who actually have viable businesses. Portia. Some of these people need to go help Sheree out. Because we're going to talk about Sheree in just a little bit. Because, girl, Sheree, I'm done with you. So we see Kenya. So she is at a CVS in Atlanta. So, they do the, the ribbon cutting for her product line. Which, congratulations. I do want to say congratulations to Kenya. That's a big thing. CVS, like, that is a really, really big. Now, I can't say that I've saw Kenya stuff here in Dallas. I don't think I've saw it here in Dallas. And I'll actually look around and see if I do see some of Kenya Moore's hair care product. If I do, I'll buy it. Especially if it's got something, if we can do something about regrowing hair. I'll look into it. Because actually, I want to look into her. I actually definitely want to look into the kaleidoscopes by BB Judy. Definitely want to look into her kaleidoscopes. Those are in my local Walmart. I have saw kaleidoscopes. I just haven't saw Kenya's stuff in CVS because I go to CVS quite often. But we'll see next time that I go into CVS if I see Kenya Moore hair care products. So congratulations to Kenya. So we see Kenya, she's there. So Drew came down, Sanya came, and Candy came. So while they were there, they were talking about Sheree's fashion show, right? And at the time, they were just like, y'all think Sheree gonna have everything by the time the fashion show? Like, and Kenya was like, well, I spoke to Sheree, and she has 5 pieces, but she really, she put an order in for like 20, 25, but she only has 5. I'm like, girl, if you only got 5 pieces, that's not a fashion show. What the model's gonna do? What the model's gonna do? Hey, when you walk down the runway, when you come back, immediately drop that and give it to the next person so that they can put it on. Like, so are we gonna swap clothes? Is it gonna be a clothing swap? I mean, okay. Because I know we do know when it comes to fashion shows, those models, they have to get out them clothes, yes, they have to get out those clothes before they even get off the runway, basically, so that they can get into their next outfit and be ready to walk down the runway again. But hey, we'll see what it is with Sheree. So let's pause here and let's move forward, you guys. All right, you guys. So next up, let's talk about Sanya. So Sanya, she has Marlo and her nephews over to her home, right? And I did like how this, so Sanya and Marlo were inside cooking tacos cooking for the boys, right? And Ross and Ducey, oh boy, is something else. So yeah, so Ross is gonna teach Michael and William. One of them is going to learn how to change the oil in the car, and one of them is going to learn how to change a tire. I think that's a good thing. I think that is something that young boys should. I think that's something that everyone should know. Be honest, not just young boys. I think it's something that we all can. I think it's something that everyone can benefit from, right? Like I've told you guys, I had to teach myself how to change a tire because when what happened, it was so, and it was just weird how it happened. So there was one day I was going to our local mall in my hometown, and I heard my tire. I'm like, oh, something's going wrong with that. Get out the car, pull over on the side of the road. It was flat as a pancake. I was like, oh no, my tire's flat. Like, what am I gonna do? So I called my mom, and I told my mom, I was like, Mom, call my uncle, one of my twin uncles. She's like, you call him. I'm like, I don't know his number, Mama. You call him. So she was like, well, hold on, Jerome, I'm gonna call him. And so she hung up with me, called me back a few minutes later, and she said, "Where are you?" I said, I tell her where I am, and I'm getting frustrated and pissed. And she said, "Well, your uncle said he'll be there in just a minute. Give him a few minutes." I was like, "It is cold out here. I don't want to wait for him that long, because I wasn't that far from where he lived, but I'm like, I don't want to wait." She was like, "Well, you should have just called him yourself." I'm like, you know what, Mama, forget it. And I hung up in her face. And I hung up in my mom's face because I was just pissed. And I'm like, you know what? I took the tire and I took everything out of the car. I took everything out, and I looked at the instructions, and I was like, okay, we're gonna figure out how to change the tire by myself. And that's exactly what I did. I figured out how to change it by myself, and I called him. I'm like, well, Mom, you can call Uncle LT and tell him he don't need to come. She's like, why? I was like, because I changed the tire myself. She's like, you did? I was like, I sure did. I changed it myself, and we're good. So tell him he don't have to come. It's crisis is averted. So I like that. Now the next thing that I want to teach myself how to do is change the oil in my car, because I hate, oh God, like when I get the oil change in my car, it is, how much is it? Because I get high mileage oil. It's like $60-$70. I'm like, oh, this is a lot of money when I can just go to the store and just buy the oil my damn self and just change the oil. Like I just want to know how to drain it, and then how much to put in there. Like, that is something that is literally the next thing that I'm going to teach myself how to do is change the oil in my car. That is the next thing I'm gonna do. But yeah, I think it was a good thing that they did that. What else? One real light in that scene. So Sanya lets us know that, she and Ross, they did have a conversation, and Ross, he's like, if she doesn't want to have another baby, he's on board with her not wanting to have another baby. And when he said that, that put them on the same page. So she was like, you know what? Because he said that, I'm gonna have my IUD taken out. So we're gonna work on having a baby number 2. So we'll see. Congratulations to her if they do have one. Let's pause here and let's go ahead and move forward. All right, you guys. So before we go ahead and get to the grand part of the episode, let's talk about Marlo real quick, right? So, forgot to mention it with Sanya, but Marlo was talking about how her mother was in town, right? And then she was staying at a hotel. So Sanya had asked her, like, why is your mom at a hotel? So the last time that Marlo's mother was down there, they got into a huge argument when her mama called her a hoe and a bitch and all that. I'm like, damn. Ooh. How do y'all get to that point with your parents where they're calling you out your name? Hell, y'all was almost about to get into a knockdown, drag out fight like two regular women off the damn street. So Marlon went to pick her mom up, right? She asked her mama, where's her teeth at? She says, I threw them away. That reminded me of a time when my grandmother, oh my God, so my grandmother always took her teeth out to eat, right? And she would put them in a napkin. She didn't do this. What actually happened is my cousin came in and did it. So my grandmother put her teeth in a napkin. So when my grandmother finished with her food, my cousin went into the room, went into the living room. Where was she at? I think she was in the living room or the kitchen table, one of the two. She went and got all the stuff, gathered it, took it to the trash can, threw it in the trash can, not realizing she threw out Big Mama's teeth in the trash can. So, my Big Mama, she was looking for her teeth. She's like, where are my teeth at? And so we were searching through the house. We were like, where were they at the last time you had them? She's like, I was eating, and I put them in a napkin. And that's when my cousin, like, she threw them in the trash. So one of my other cousins, he had to go jump in the trash can and get it. I was like, this grandson is not gonna go jump in the trash can for your teeth. Love your big mama, but I'm not going out there for that. Mm-mm. So yeah, my big cousin, he went out there and got them teeth. It just reminded me of that. It was funny. So Marlo and her mother kind of went on. They went on a little bit of a shopping spree. That I didn't see them buy anything, but I know Marlo said that her mom has like a store. I think it's like a consignment store, maybe, like where they buy stuff and then resell it. But it is what it is, right? So Marlo's mom wants to move back, and Marlo's like, I just want to make sure that you're in a good space in your life right now because the last time wasn't a good time. And that's when her mom was like, yeah, I was mad at you about that. She was like, you was mad at me for what? Because you kicked me out of my house. She's like, I kicked you out of your house because, so I guess at one point, Michael and William were staying with her mother, but her mother wasn't 100% clean because she was still on drugs and she was selling drugs out of Marlo's home. And she says that one of the babies called her to come and get them, and she goes to the house to get them. And then here comes her mother walking down the street from God knows where, being gone for days at a time. I was like, damn, wow. It's something to be on. It is something to be on drugs. I don't know anybody that's strung out on drugs. Like I don't know anybody that's ever been strung out. But I can't imagine. I just can't imagine what it's like to deal with that. It's got to be. It's got to be sad and hurtful. Knowing the fact that you have this person that you love so much who is addicted to these drugs and they can't get off of them. So then we see them, they are at Le Archive, and we find out that Candy is coming down because Marlo had talked to Candy and she had, wanted to make amends with Candy for what happened in Jamaica. Okay, girl, if you say so. You also need to make amends for calling her a hoe, her and Kenya hoes. That's gonna come up at the reunion, and I'm ready for it to come up at the reunion. Um, so before actually, right as Kenny was getting there, Marlo and her mother were arguing because I guess Marlo's mom has a boyfriend, and her mom asked after been there for about 3 days, can the boyfriend come? Now I'm with Marlo, girl. Why you are coming here, reconnecting with me, and you gonna ask me can your boyfriend come and stay? Fuck no, he cannot stay. He gotta go. I don't know him like that. What is he doing for you? Is he clean? No, no ma'am. No ma'am, Ham Pam. No ma'am, Miss Ham. No ma'am, Miss Pam. Absolutely not. And I love when Candy did come in there and she told both of them that they could both use some counseling. And I agreed with that. Marlo and her mother need counseling. So let's pause here, you guys, and let's move forward. You guys, I actually forgot that we had Candy in this episode, so we'll talk about Candy real quick. Because I thought next up was Sheree, but Sheree is last. But next is Candy. So we see Candy. So Candy is down to the OLG, and Mama Joyce is there with her, right? So Candy is telling Mama Joyce that, Todd and we are doing our estate planning. And, we just think that we want to do a separate trust, but we will do. So they're going to have a separate trust. Then I think they're going to have one, I think, separate trust for, like, Candy will have a separate trust for Riley, Ace, Blaze, and them. And then Todd, the way it sounded, I could be wrong. They'll have a separate trust for their kids, that their kids, I guess. And then they'll come together and they'll have one big joint trust. And I guess the joint trust, oh, okay, I think, now I could be wrong. I think I figured it out. So yeah, Candy will have a separate trust for her. She'll have a separate trust. Todd will have one, and then they'll have one, kind of like Candy have one for the things that she had accumulated for herself before Todd. Even though remember what them straight ass producers did. But I think Candy will have one for herself with the things that she's had. Todd will have one for the stuff that he's had, and then they'll come together for a joint one for everything that they've accumulated throughout the course of their marriage. I think that's how it'll work. Now, Mama Joyce in this scene, I was kind of confused by her because she asked, so Mama Joyce feels that Candy should have one separate, one trust just for Riley. And she was like, so you just forgetting about Ace and Blaze? And Mama Joyce was saying, well, that's because, Riley didn't have her dad growing up and Ace and Blaze do have their dad. And I in a weird way, I kind of understand what Mama Joyce is saying, but I didn't like it. Like, I'm gonna keep it real. I understood what she was saying. I just didn't like it because if you listen to what she's saying, it's almost as if I don't want to say this. Listening to Mama Joy say that, it's almost as if it's like, yeah, I know, Ace and Blaze are your kids, but Riley was there before them. So Riley is the one. To me, this is my personal opinion. It's just how it sounded to me, not anybody else. So to me, it sounded like Riley was more important than Ace and Blaze, and I'm like, that's not right to say that. Like, how do you think these kids, when they get older, how do you think these kids are gonna feel to hear you say some stuff like that? Like, I didn't necessarily like that, and I gotta be real, I didn't like that. I get wanting to, like, because her logic, I get her logic, but I don't get her logic at the same time, right? Yes, Riley didn't have her dad, but Candy has provided an excellent life for her despite not having blockhead ass in her life. So I didn't really. So it's not like it's it's not as if Candy and Riley struggled for years before she got on Real Housewives of Atlanta, and then she became this business mogul. That's not the case. Candy was with Escape. She was writing songs, producing. So Candy had money before she came on Real Housewives of Atlanta. So I just didn't like when Mama Joy said that. So then she asked her who is over the estate. So Candy says it's Don Juan. And she says, and who else? She was like, nobody. She says, well, it should be me. And I was with Candy. I'm like, so you writing me off before you, huh? Okay. And Candy was like, but Mama, you and Ty don't even get along. If something happens to me, they're not. They gonna fight like cat. They gonna fight like hell. So then, Mama Joyce. So Mama Joyce was talking to Candy about you don't want no other woman in your house. Okay, I get that point. I now this point I actually got where Mama Joyce was coming from, because I always think about this when it comes to couples, especially when they've been together for umpteen years and they've amassed some stuff together, or even in situations like this with Candy, where Candy was the sole breadwinner. Candy was the one with the house and everything, right? And let's just say something happens to Candy, God forbid, right? And Todd is still here as a widower, right? I got Mama Joyce's point. But there's nothing either one of you can do if the man does meet another woman. If he meets another woman, 9 times out of 10, and if they get serious, unless she has a home of her own and she doesn't want to give up her home, she's probably going to move in with him. Now, Candy's okay with him, if something happens to her, him dating another woman. He's not to get married again. He's not to get married again. And I'm like, okay, because she doesn't want a struggle between what they have for their kids. And that part, I get it. I have nothing negative to say about that. I don't have anything negative to say about anything that they did. I just didn't like the comment about Riley should have her own separate trust aside from her brother and her sister. I just didn't like that comment. Let me know what you guys thought about it, and we'll discuss it in the comments below. So let's pause here, you guys, and let's wrap up this episode. All right, you guys, so let's go ahead and talk about She by She Tried It. She by She Ain't Beyonce. She by She Copied somebody else's style. She by That Shit Is Expensive. So we see Sheree. She is at her venue for the fashion show, and we once again see Confetti Rowan. You guys, I love Rowan. I love Rowan. So the venue, they were walking around. It's a nice venue, so they're going to have about 200 people there, right? So now here's the thing that was blowing me with Sheree, right? So Sheree booked this venue, but had at this point, she contracted for 24 pieces, but she only had 5. Like, girl, what? That's not a fashion show. And even Rowan said, that's not a fashion show, right? So then we see her as she's still dealing with these damn pieces. So the venue has come together and it looked beautiful. Even that, now I will say one thing about Sheree. That logo for She by Sheree I love it, right? And we're going to talk about She by Sheree in just a minute. We're going to talk about it because I got a lot of stuff to say about She by Sheree. So we see Tyrone. He showed up. I was like, oh God. So she brings up, him ditching her when she went out to Philly, right? And she said, so are you going to apologize to me? He was like, apologize to you? We should be apologizing to each other. And I was with Sheree, like, what do I owe you an apology for? He says, well, you were filming and you were trying to send me back to prison. Sir, how is she trying to send you back to prison when we have, like he's talking about, that would have been a violation. How is it a violation when we have a whole show called Love After Lockup, Love During Lockup, and Love Life After Lockup? On WeTV, WeTV films these people as they go pick up their significant others from prison. WeTV has also been to these prisons and filmed with these people. WeTV continuously films these people after they get out of prison. So how was it going to be a violation and you go back to jail? We are on 4 seasons. Technically, it's more than 4 seasons if they would actually split them up the way that they should be. We're on season 4 of Love After Lockup, Love After Lockup, Life After Lockup, and Love During Lockup. Again, if they would just split up these shows, Life After Lockup would be on season 3, and Love After Lockup will be on season 5 or 6 by now, right? Because I feel like I've been watching this show for, actually, Love After Lockup, I've been watching this before the pandemic happened. I've been watching Love After Lockup before the pandemic, and that's been almost 3 years now. And before that, before the pandemic, they were on season 2. So at least 5 or 6, right? But hey, who am I, right? So yeah, Tyrone, you a damn lie. There's a whole show marketed after people like you. So even Apollo said, that ain't true. So here's my thing when it comes to Mr. Tyrone. So you don't want to film when she came to Philly, but here you are in Atlanta on camera. You signed the release to be on camera, but it was a violation against show. It was a violation. Make it make sense, because it doesn't make sense whatsoever. So she eventually told him to leave, right? So Sheree finally got all of her pieces and some. So I think she had in total 27 pieces. So congratulations to Sheree. Child, why was Fatum there? Oh my God, Fatum. Girl, go away from me. I am with Drew. Fatum. I want to do like Drew did Sonya at the reunion. Flip my weave on her. Okay, so Tyrone, he came back with some flowers. Dwight was there. Now, here's the question that I have. Why did that fashion show take over an hour to get started? So the fashion show was supposed to start at 7:30. We get to 8 o'clock. We get to 8:30. And ain't no fashion show started. I'm like, girl, what the hell is going on? CPT time. CPT time. So the fashion show eventually started. And one thing I want to say, Dwight looks good. After he got that work redone to his face, the man looks really, he looks nice. He looks good. He looks good. So the fashion show starts. The clothes look amazing. Those clothes really did look good. Like, I like that one jogger said that when the man came out there and all the women were cheering for him, that jogger said, I love that tan like jogger said, I loved it. I'm like, oh, I want that. Let's talk about it. Let's go ahead and just talk about the website, right? All right, you guys. So after the fashion show happened last night, because I'm filming this on Monday morning. After the fashion show happened, so I went to her website, right? So I've been on Sheree's website for the last few weeks, right? So for the last few weeks, it's just been a plain website. It didn't have much. It had a lot of stuff on it, but nothing at the same time. So I noticed last night that they had a new button on there that says shop. I was like, okay, come on, Sheree, bitch. I clicked on shop for about I clicked on shop, clicked on shop, clicked on shop, clicked on shop, clicked on shop. Nothing. So I said, okay, let me do this. Let's click on about. The about works. Let's click on press. Press works. Let's click on contact. Contact works. Every button on that website works except for the shop button. I was like, ain't this about a mother? Okay, Sheree. So then I went to Twitter and I saw that Candy had posted. So Candy had posted that the website was supposed to go live at 9:42 Eastern time, right? So they're an hour ahead of me. Well, yeah, they're an hour ahead. So it was 9 o'clock. It was 9 o'clock when I saw it. It was 8 o'clock here in Dallas. It was eight. It was actually almost 9 o'clock. It was 8:50. It was 8:58 when I saw her tweet. Right. So then I was like, okay, I know Atlanta. I know Atlanta's an hour ahead of me. So that means it should be live, right? And it was still. So I went back again. I was like, it's still not live. What the hell is going on? So then Sheree tweeted, she did it. Everybody under her tweets said, not so fast. Your website ain't live. We ain't finna celebrate this until we can shop, right? So then maybe 20 minutes later, I saw someone who posted a picture of two outfits, right? So there's this outfit of Sheree and a gray jogger set, right? And it's cute. But then this morning when I woke up, I see that people have found it on Amazon and AliExpress. Now Sheree is out of her rabbit ass mind. Even with Beyonce and her Ivy Park stuff, I ain't never spent that much money for her. So Sheree has this gray jogger set, right? How much do you guys think that only thing that's different from it and AliExpress and Amazon is this big ass star in the chest? And it's for women. It ain't for men, it's for women. It's $130. I'm like, girl, what? So then she got a black one and a gray one that Cairo and another girl, I think it might be Callie, they have on, right? How much is that one? Because it's a hoodie with some sweatpants, right? It's $125. I know you fucking lying, Sheree. $130 and $125, girl, get the fuck out of here. So then, she posted on Twitter, due to the overwhelming support that people want to do for She by Sheree, the website crashed. Didn't you just make fun of, y'all literally made fun of Drew for that shit. Y'all made fun of Drew because Drop It With Drew crashed, right? Sheree, you can talk. You know what, Sheree? At this point, I don't care. I really did want to support Sheree and She by Sheree, but at this point, I don't want to support it anymore. I'm Gucci. We're good. The next time Beyonce drops something for Ivy Park, I will purchase a jogger set from there. And even like I said, even what I just said with Ivy Park, baby, I ain't never spent no $120 on no set from Beyonce. And you guys know I love Beyonce. You guys know I try to buy anything I can from the Ivy Park drops. But I ain't never spent the $130 and $125 for a set of anything. Nothing. Now, have I spent $100-something for something from Ivy Park? Absolutely. That's because I bought multiple things, not just one thing, multiple things. Child, Sheree, go away from me with that. Like, I can't with Sheree. I really can't. You really want to support Sheree, but you just can't. But let me know what you guys thought about this season finale. Drop down in the comment section, subscribe to the channel, you guys, turn on your post notifications, and share the video, you guys. And until the next time, you guys, stay safe, take care of yourselves, wash your hands, wear a mask, socially distance, you guys, be blessed, and I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.